Hey, what's going on, guys? Tony here, CCxRC, and today we're going to be taking a look at this new SCX24 build that I have right here for you guys. Lots of cool stuff that's gone into this. Very customized, and yeah, we'll be talking about all the different parts that went into this, and it's a lot different than all of my other ones, so that's exciting. I do want to mention I did get to hang out with CCxRC. Lee was in town last week on Thursday, and we hung out at CCxRC Hobbies and ran tiny trucks. I had my scythe there. I meant to bring my Jeep, but I forgot it, and I actually don't know where I've placed it, so I got to try and find out where it is. But I was able to run this one, and they had a competition, and just friendly competition, so we had fun competing and hanging out and closed the place down. And all of that to mention is that's when I bought this body for this build. And also, CCxRC Hobbies had just got in Furatech parts, so I picked up a Komodo and a Lizard ESC. Not the Pro, just the Lizard. And I did not get it with Bluetooth, which is great because I already have Bluetooth modules. And what I just do is I just shrink wrap it, but then I cut the little area where the Bluetooth comes in, and we can just plug it in and out of different ones. But it allows us to still put the sticky on the back. And we can just plug this in if we want to tune it and take it to different cars. And then I just have a little sticky on it that'll kind of keep it in place like that. So let's talk about this. So I picked up the body. It's a J Concepts Creep. I picked up the Furatech Komodo and the Furatech Lizard ESC from CCxRC Hobbies, and also these RC four-wheel drive scrambler tires. The wheels are actually brass NHX brass NHX wheels that I was told about by RC Amigos, and so I picked these up. I think I had to get them on eBay was where I got them, but it's Nitro Hobbies, and I wanted to try them out as brass wheels that are beadlocks, and so far really digging them. I like that they have this little arrow on here, which helps me when I was doing, because this one also has the Trio overdrive gears in the axles and in the front axle. So I have overdrive that I'm pushing in this, which is really cool. I did have to really hack the body because we'll talk about that in the chassis here in just a minute. But I did have to do some cheating in order to get this working properly, because I wanted to use this body, but this chassis technically is probably better for a deadbolt. And this body works better with the C10 because that's what it uses for the mounting and all that, which then means that the wheels were off, and so I had to play around with that to get it to work and look like it does, which I think is pretty good. And I just hacked it. It's a comp truck, so we're going to go with the hack job look on it. So components, like I mentioned, these, I do have the Reefs 99 Micro in the front. That is something that I took from another truck. It is running the Hot Racing steering links up front, as well as the Hot Racing servo mount that is used for the Emax servos, which allows us to go in here real nice. Shocks, these are the eBay version, not the eBay, the Amazon version of the Tele shocks. I wanted to give them a test and see the difference between the Hot Racing and these. And so far, one of the main differences I think I noticed was I had to put the black springs on here because I wanted it to be really soft. And I don't know if the Hot Racing came with the soft springs on or if I had changed that out on the monster truck. But I did know that I had to change it on here because it was really way too springy for a crawler that I want to kind of be like in droop. I want it to be sitting down low, but I want it to be able to extend as it is trying to keep contact with the rocks. So for the flex, I want the length, but when it's resting, I want it to be compressed. So I wanted to do body clips. It's just the easiest way, so it works using that. Chassis is the new Furatech Scythe carbon fiber rails, and these are the blue ones. They have blue and red, but there's, if you look at it, you can see that little hint of blue in the carbon fiber. It's pretty cool. But it's got the battery tray that sits in here. There's also another battery tray option if you're running the regular electronics or a brushed electronics or even a brushless that sits with this transmission the standard way. And it has a little cutout So that is another battery tray that can sit in here and allow for that motor mount to be set the proper way or the original way and have a cutout for it. And then you'd put your battery strap and stuff back there. But I didn't need to do that because I was running the Komodo that I just picked up. And so it was good to go there. As you can see, I chose to use the C10 mounts. The deadbolt has a different one, and it just didn't line up right with this body, which meant that it sat back or forward too far. Everything was just off. Yeah, it sat too far forward, so the wheels were both back too far. So that meant I had to do a couple of things, which I wanted to do anyway. I'm running the longer deadbolt links in the rear, and I'm running the longer front links from the C10 in the front. So I have a stretched out truck that way. So it looks, if you take this off, it's actually very similar to my scythe build. The wheelbase is the same. A lot of it is the exact same, but it seems taller because the body just sits up on top, but it's super light. I don't think it actually changes it, but it changes the look. It doesn't look as squatted, even though it technically, the chassis is still running about the exact same and should perform the same. So it looks tall and truck-like, but it's definitely got weight down low. So talking about that weight, we do have aluminum axles, and then we do have brass knuckles that are hot racing. We have a 9-gram hot racing diff cover here up front as well. And I think that is it for the weight, other than the brass wheels. And I do have brass wheel nuts, but I didn't put them on. So standard transmission plate, standard plastic gears from the transmission. Didn't change any of that out. Just put the motor mount on for the Komodo. And this is running on the Avatar, which is a really, really cool controller from Furatech. And very, very tiny in here. Receiver, which I ended up choosing because of it being so small. I got my ESC and that right there tucked in with the battery, which I don't have any battery straps for. So right now I have a zip tie that's loose enough that I can slide in and out batteries, but tight enough that they don't come out on their own. But overall, I feel like it does pretty good. As far as the flex that it has, it's okay. Yeah, it's pretty decent. You know, you get a couple fingers under there, and these are big tires, so axle-wise, it's flexing pretty good. But because the tires are so tall, that's affecting it a little bit. But yeah, I think it does all right. The main thing is when it's on the rocks, it seems to hook up pretty good and give me some capabilities. So we'll show you guys over on my little course here what it looks like with a little bit of run footage for you. But first, just look at how slow this thing will creep. That is amazing. The motor, however, is in here churning away. But it also has pretty decent wheel speed. I'll lift it up here for 1 second. For 2S. Put a Lizard Pro in there, you can run 3S on it, so have even more wheel speed. But for most things, that should be pretty good for me. All right, here we go. We'll one-handed drive this because this radio allows us to. Try a couple of lines that get it a little bit twisty. Nice slow creep. Actually, I'm going to go on this, so I'm wheeling down. There we go. So there's showing some of that flex that it's got. And the body does kind of take away from how low this thing really is, but It definitely handles good. Look at that back tire just hanging on, just riding the rock back there. Lots of smooth power delivery from this Komodo. This can be a little tricky sometimes getting up this hill. These tires though grip really good, and these are bigger than what I was running before, so no problem for it. Now one of the hard lines, and I still don't know if I can do it, I need to make a few changes I think to this course, because he's kind of hanging up when I added these kind of branches here. They literally will hang you up. So we'll see if we can get with these bigger tires for it to go up this side here or not. Oh, I'm bringing a bunch of the moss. These tires might allow it to get over that. It's a steep angle. Problem is that the back end usually slides downhill. It hits right there and it'll start walking. Oh, these are doing it. Oh, yeah. All right. Super grippy tires. That's nice. That overdrive in the front's really bringing it around. That is awesome. Look at it flexing. Ooh. Need to settle down here. There it goes. Get in tight here on this side. Otherwise, if I slide off that, I'm down. Oh, it's sliding. Oh, and now I'm hanging up. This is that problem. Whoa. I've never been able to recover from that. Will it do it? It looks like it. Holy crap, yeah. Nice. It's barely hanging that edge. We're just gonna walk it. Bring it back around. Oh, nice. Really, really cool rig, guys. But this servo has tons of power. The tires have plenty of grip. I'm really liking a lot of things about this. Chassis gives me lots of shock mounting options, and I might not even have them in the best place yet. So I did have to move these fake reservoirs because the tires are so tall that they were rubbing when I would turn. So I flipped them around. Let's see if we can come down this here. Nice slow control, which is super nice about this motor and this electronics package. It just moves so smooth. Whoa, it's getting tippy. At least it feels like it because that body, but I think the chassis is really mounted, is low enough that it wasn't as dire looking as it looked. It wasn't as dire as it looked. It wasn't not as dire looking as it looked, because it did look dire. That's so nice. And it re-glues some of these pieces. Yeah, that's a pretty good flex. What do you guys think of this build? Curious what you think, and I know a lot of you guys upgrade your SCX24s. I feel like these are finally a lot more capable than any of the other trucks that I've had, and that's a lot to do with the chassis for one, and then just all the components and putting the weight down there, and then having electronics that are smooth and operate just like my 1 10th scale trucks with the FOC and that just really low kV, smooth power. I mean, look at that. How cool is that? It's just working. Let's get back to the top of the mountain. Whoa. That's it, settle. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's a quick look at my new Creep here, the FureTech Scythe carbon fiber rails with the Reefs servo, the NHX wheels, our four-wheel drive tires, and a bunch more going on inside, guys. FureTech out electronics. That Komodo motor is something else. Hope you guys are having fun RCing. Catch you next time.